Yo guys, what's up? Sleepio here. In today's video I wanted to show you how to get all the blueprints and also the best titanium farm. You may ask yourself what those two things have to do with each other, but don't worry, I will explain. But first off, why just titanium? There are 3 rare crafting materials, why do I just cover titanium and not electronics and carbon fiber? Well, that's because, at least for me, titanium is the hardest to get and also the resource you use the most in the endgame. You use it to craft weapon mods, guns, and also to recalibrate items. But I will get to the titanium farm later in the video. First I want to talk about the blueprints. So in Division 2 you get blueprints by just completing side missions and projects at the settlements. But that's not all the blueprints in the game. There are way more blueprints, especially weapon mod blueprints that you can't get that way. But let's talk about the easier blueprints first, the weapon and gear blueprints. As I said, you get those by just going through the game, doing the missions and the projects at the settlements, but you can also buy them at the White House and the settlement vendors. I personally bought them at level 30, so I'm not sure if you can do that method before level 30. So, as you maybe know, the vendors reset sometimes. At least the normal items in the vendors do. But in Division 2 you can just buy the blueprints at the vendors, then travel to the next vendor and buy the available blueprint there and do the same with the last vendor. So you travel from the White House vendor to the theater vendor to the campus vendor and just buy all the available blueprints in those vendors. Now to the weird part, and I don't know if that's intended or not, but after you did that you can just travel back to the vendor you started buying the blueprint and you will have a new blueprint there that you can buy, that you also don't have yet. So you can get a lot of weapon and gear blueprints that way. You just do it until you don't get any more blueprints at the vendors. That means you got every single one that you could possibly buy. But, as I said earlier, there are a lot more blueprints. For example, the weapon mods. There are 77 weapon mods, and after doing all the projects and side missions, you have around 30 to 40 of them. In the game there is no info where you can find the other blueprints, but I figured out how to get them all. In Division 2, you have an open world activity, like control points, public executions, territory control and more. After the Black Tusk takes over the map, all the control points are lost again, and you have to do them again in the world tiers. Now, most of the control points are linked to other side activities like public executions or territory controls with a thin red line. If you hover over the control point or the other activities, you can see a number on the right side of it. That's the level of those activities at the moment. A control point can be upgraded up to 3 times, so it will be level 4. The activities the control point is linked to can be either level 1 or level 2. Means for a level 1 activity, the control point goes up by 1, and for a level 2 activity, it goes up by 2. At level 3, you will get a guaranteed blueprint from finishing the control point, either a weapon or a gear piece or a weapon mod blueprint. Most of the times it will be a weapon mod though, since there are a lot more weapon mods than gear blueprints. It's quite time consuming if you want to get every single weapon mod though, since you have to do at least a control point and one other mission to get it to level 3. One more thing, I wouldn't recommend upgrading the control point to level 4, because that makes the NPCs a lot stronger compared to the already quite challenging level 3 NPCs. And yeah, that's how you can get all the weapon mod blueprints in the game. As I said earlier in the video, I also wanted to show the best titanium farm method, so let me get right into it. So in the open world you can get titanium for all kind of activities, for example looting those orange crates or just killing NPCs. But the drop rate and also the drop amount isn't that great. In the dark zone on the other hand, the drop rate and the drop amount of titanium is a different story. For one landmark in the dark zone you get 15 to 20 titanium on average, that's at least what I experienced, and that's quite a lot. As you can see in the background footage, I'm nearly getting titanium from every NPC, and it's always stacks of 5+ titanium. And yeah, that's it. The dark zone is the best way to farm titanium. I hope I could help you with this video. If you enjoy my content and wanna support me, just leave a sub. Thanks for watching and see you in my next video.